Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Tuesday the 28th of May will mark a huge Thargoid War overhaul in the shape of the latest update for Elite Dangerous, which is going to be Elite Dangerous Update 18.06. And following player feedback and internal reviews of the Thargoid War and Titan progression, Frontier have deemed it necessary, shall we say, to make some significant changes. So, Update 18.06. What's it all about? Well, straight off the bat, update 18.06 for Elite Dangerous is all about player feedback and internal reviews of the Thargoid War and Titan progression. These significant changes are, by the looks of it, quite significant. The release does go on quite a bit. We've got some nice screenshots in there as well. But the servers will be down on Tuesday the 28th, 8 o'clock in the morning, and hopefully be back up 12 o'clock midday. Now, those times are of course subject to change, and there's a UK and US public holiday as well going on. So the first thing to talk about is war contribution and bounty changes. Yes, you're going to get some more for shooting stuff. Now, this part of the update is all about the options that are available which you can contribute to the war effort. Scout sampling is a clear outlier, they've mentioned, and quite difficult as well. Anyway, to ensure that all types of gameplay they say are impactful on the war, every game action has been reviewed. Combat in particular should now be much more viable to beat back the Thargoid threat. And naturally, of course it should be. Frontier have stated that all combat actions, i.e. destroying interceptors and anti-Xeno combat zones, have had significant boosts, along with hunting Orchestral in alert systems, spire sabotage actions. All mission types and all rescue operations have had the same little bit of love from Frontier and have received significant boosts. They have also gone on to mention that combat bonds have also been adjusted for the following Thargoid ships. This is obviously going to be after Haddad has bitten it. However, the Cyclops has been tweaked. Instead of getting 6.5 million, you're going to get 8. An increase of 1.5 million there, not to be sniffed at, with the Basilisk having an increase of 4 million from 20 million to 24 million. The Medusa is up next. 34 million will now be adjusted that every Medusa that you destroy, you will get 40 million. Payouts for the Hydra will increase from 50 million to 60 million, a huge increase of an additional 10 million per Hydra that you can blast out of existence. Now, here comes the real kicker, the Orchestral. Anti-Xeno commanders will know that the Orchestral, when you destroy one, will give you currently 40 million credits. However, that is going to reduce to 15 million credits per Orchestral. What does this mean? Well, this means once Haddad goes into its degraded state, right, all the Orchestral are going to be leaving Haddad. Get in there with the Orchestral hunters for that 24 hours and make your money, because you'll be earning 40 million per Orchestral before the change is made on Tuesday the 28th with update 18.06, and that price per Orchestral, the bounty per Orchestral, will only get you 15 million. Next up is system difficulty changes. They mentioned that previously system difficulty changes became exponentially higher the closer a system is to a Titan. Okay, so systems very close to the Titans could be extremely challenging to take. This often made it very difficult to weaken the said Titan in focus to a highly vulnerable state by taking those last controlled systems. The change they aim to put in place is to ensure that the system difficulty remain constant, irrespective of how close to a Titan it is. Great, brilliant. And additionally, that all systems can be contested without spire assistance or stockpiling samples. So, okay, are they taking a little bit of the grind out of it? I think so. Are they dumbing it down? I don't know. But what they do say is that system difficulty is now linear with respect to distance from a Titan. Okay. And that all system scores have now been rebalanced using the new war contribution values, which we mentioned previously. Okay, so now on to Spires then. So Frontier basically confirm what we've all worked out before, that Spires are highly valuable tools to be used against the Thargoids, as each war effort action within a Spire system also has an effect on the 10 systems furthest away from the associated Titan. And they're calling this spread pushback. Now they do give an example of what spread pushback in regards to Spire sites actually is. So strap in. Let's see if we can get this out and work it out. So for example, they state, if any of the furthest 10 systems hit 100%, the Titan will now start to affect the 11th system, and then the 12th system, and so on. So that means they're expanding, without waiting for the Thursday turn. Okay, so they'll update dynamically without the current maintenance tick. Spread pushback capping has been reworked. Previously, spread pushback would only apply to a system under 85% progress. Okay, spread pushback is now treated as 85% pushback allocation per system. Are any of you actually, getting this? The hard cap at 85% progress no longer applies. Well, I'm going to say good for that. So what it says is a system could already be at 15% progress via in-system activity. The remaining 85 could be completed by spread pushback. Do you know what? Let's just say there's been changes to how the Spire site affects the war effort, and let's just keep our sanity. Simple as that. Next up, Counter-Strike. Well, let's hope this doesn't twist my melon like the other section was. So, Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike systems offer a variety of gameplay of options in which you can fight the Thargoid and contribute to the war effort, they say. They have said to better synergize with Spire mechanics, oh my god, right? Improvements to the Counter-Strike marking rules have been made. So here we go. Right. Counter-Strike systems marking has been partially reworked. The 10 furthest controlled systems from a Titan are now marked as Counter-Strike, regardless of direction. The furthest Spire system from a Titan is now marked as a Counter-Strike, and the above changes in addition to the existing Counter-Strike marking system. Well, yeah, okay, we'll take your word for it. Next up then, Titan vulnerability challenges and changes. Let's talk about that. All I can say is, viewers, let's hope it's a bit more easier than what we've just heard, because I'm not a stupid person, but like, what? Anyway, previous Titan vulnerability operated on a curve. The less systems a Titan controlled, the more damage it would take from players hitting the core. Yes, we understand that. Brilliant. Titan vulnerability is now a 2-tier system. Well, of course it is. Let's just make it more complicated, shall we? At 3 controlled systems or below, the Titan will be vulnerable to attack. Okay. At 4 or above controlled systems, the Titan will take almost no damage from attacks. So you're effectively peeing in the wind. Okay. Inbox messages and the galaxy map have been adjusted to this new system. Rules for obtaining Titan rewards will therefore be unchanged. Good. So I think there's a positive there somewhere. In closing, they say they'll be closely monitoring the results of these changes and may make further adjustments as required. Now, they state then, 5 Titans will still remain active and a threat to the galaxy. If you've yet to engage the Thargoids, now is the time. There you go, and why not buy an AX Jumpstart Chieftain? They fixed an issue as well where contacts menus were not working with the HOTAS, and they fixed the soft lock that could occur when being teleported to carrier seats from a teammate's hangar, but not aboard their ship. Lovely. Okay, so very Thargoid War heavy, as we've seen, some really confusing stuff in there for the general player, which I class myself. Do you think these are good changes, or are you just as confused as I am? I mean, I get the whole, you'll get less for Orthrus kills as of Tuesday the 28th, as of 18.0 whatever it is, 6, and you'll get more for the other Thargoids, which kind of stands to reason, and I get it. And you can do more damage and help the war effort with all the missions, and they've given you significant boosts. So I think they're trying to make it a little bit easier to drag down the Titans. So there's obviously a time scale and a plan and a roadmap for this. Are we ahead? Are we behind? I don't know. I would say perhaps we're slightly behind in regards to these Thargoids, hence these changes. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to update 18.06 from Elite Dangerous? Do you think all the changes, monetary or credit changes to the Cyclops, the Basilisk, Medusa and Hydra are good because you get more? Or do you lament the fact that you cannot now get 40 million credits for Unorthrus as of Tuesday and only 15? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon.